all these new techniques like artificial intelligence. Now, you see, guys, today in marketing, human beings have started to act as a limiting factor. You know why? The reason is there is so much data that a marketeer is capturing today. There is so much that you know about a customer, about a brand, about a product. The volume, the sheer volume of information, the velocity at which that information is coming, the complexity of the engagement of the customer. Imagine, several years back, if I am a store owner, the only conversation that I'm having is maybe, when the customer comes to the store and I talk to him and I know what is happening to that person. But today, the customer touch points are so many more. First, today the customer can go to multiple stores. Second, the customer can shop on different channels, be it online, be it, in the store itself. There are multiple stores that you own. So it's become so much more complex, you know there are so many more products now that the customer can buy. The choice of the customer has increased so much. So the engagement of a modern customer is very complex, and human cognition is just a limiting factor. And you need other ways to make sense out of this customer engagement. And the other thing is, the opportunity costs are huge. If every day that you spend not using data to take decisions, every day that your data is sitting idle and you are not making sense out of it, is a lost opportunity. Okay. Now, artificial intelligence can help you bridge this opportunity. Okay. It is and like I said, we have already understood artificial intelligence. I'll not spend too much time here, but like I said, it's been around for a long time. It's not the new kid on the block. Okay, it's been around for a long time, and it is prevalent everywhere. Using these techniques are not so difficult now. If you are a marketeer, you want to use artificial intelligence, you will be able to use it. There are so many tools, there are so many vendors, there are so many ways that you can learn and understand and start to use it. And if you see, some of them are already doing this thing. How are they using artificial intelligence? Primarily to solve five different type of problems. One, lot of marketeers are already started to use it for bringing efficiencies. Why? How are they bringing efficiency? So some certain task which is repetitive. So you have to go back and start to think, okay, what are the tasks that is repetitive that I have to do every day? Maybe I have to look at a campaign report every day and I have to take a decision whether this campaign has worked or not. And basis that I have to take a decision, what should I do in the next campaign? Now, can you just automate all of these? Can you build an artificial intelligence system that can do all of this on your own? Okay, so bringing efficiency is something which marketers are using it for. Smarter decisions. See, today, for example, you are able to find out insights which you are not aware of before at all. So, for example, today, if you are a retailer, you even know that what is the ethnicity or race of a person basis what the products that they are buying. You know if a lady is pregnant or not basis the product that they are buying. You know if in somebody's house there is a baby or there is a kid or a older person, if you look at the data of what they are buying. You can find out very interesting relationships. So okay, a toothbrush and toothpaste should be kept together. You know that milk and butter and cheese should be kept together. But do you know beer and diaper should be kept together? New relationships which you had never heard about, which you had not thought about. You can figure that out by looking at data and by building these models. So you can take much smarter decision. You can be ahead of your competition. You can take decisions very fast because you can start to analyze things very fast. So wherever you are seeing that, okay, time is consumed by human beings, time is taken up, can I build a model? Can I build an artificial intelligence solution that can help me do that? uh, you can implement things real time to do continuous improvement. Real time decision making is today happening because of AI. One area where a lot of marketers are very interested in is optimizing the journey of the customer, the entire life cycle of the customer. So right from the time a customer joins you till the day the customer leaves you, it's a life cycle. In this life cycle you have so many different interactions, so many different touch points. How do you make sense of each one of them? How do you start to collect data for each one of them? How do you start to make sense, and how do you start to then build interesting models to give you information, to give you proactive decision making, to make more sense of this engagement, to give more value to your customers, becomes very important. So these are some of the ways that marketing is already changing. This is some of the things which already some of the curious marketers are doing, some of the data savvy marketers are already doing. Okay, but not everybody is able to do this. Why? Because first thing is it's a complex thing. People don't understand. Marketeers, they come from different backgrounds. They're not from technology background, or they are not from this and for them to be able to understand and appreciate this becomes difficult at times. So you need to help them reduce the struggle that they are having with the complexity and the implications. Second thing is, uh, marketers have been using very old techniques now. Today, it is about not, content marketing. It is about contextual marketing. It's about understanding the context of why a customer is interacting with you. So I might go to the same store, but with different contexts. I might visit the store because I'm hosting a party. I will do very different shopping. I might go to the store because I'm in a rush and I want to just get my bread and egg and make my breakfast. I might go to the store for, because I'm doing my weekly shopping or monthly shopping. So I might go to the same store for very different contexts, very different needs. Now, across all the touch points, I might have these different contexts, these different requirements, and how do we understand them becomes extremely important. The third thing is, if you continue to just use traditional techniques, it is proven, it is out there on the research papers that your return on your marketing spend are only going to go down if you don't deploy artificial intelligence techniques, if you don't include advanced ways of solving your business problems. Your ability to keep on generating even the same returns will reduce. Okay, now what I'm going to talk about is how AI is getting used across different needs of the marketeers. Okay, so what are the different needs of the marketeers? Okay, so I'm going to talk about some 8, 9, 10 different needs. And I'm going to talk about very briefly how, uh, if maybe, any one of you is focusing on only one or two aspects from this list. But what it will tell you is what I intend to do is I want to give you a perspective, I want to give you a vision that even in your area, your area of marketing, you can start to use artificial intelligence. First need of the marketeer is to be able to demystify artificial intelligence. See, artificial intelligence is very autonomous. What does that mean, autonomous? Because you see, these algorithms are very complex. The example that I gave you, the example of a telecom operator trying to figure out who is going to leave them and go. Now, now the algorithm that you will be building, you will not be able to understand how it has learned. You will give the data, the algorithm will learn, and it is now ready. But if you ask, how is it working? You will be it will be very difficult for you to appreciate and understand. It is very autonomous. That's why it is called autonomous, because you will not be able to understand that. It is so complex. Okay, so one is a need for marketer to be able to appreciate and understand these things. The second is insight detection, which means From the existing data that you're already having, can I start to look at new trends, new patterns? Can I recognize new relationships? The third, and I think this is very important, is personalization, which is all about knowing your customers better. By knowing your customers better, can you serve them more relevant content? Do you know what is the persona of the customer? Like whether the customer is a high value customer, recently married, uh, earns a lot of, has a high salary, stays in a good part of the city, whatever, whatever. Now that's a customer persona, and can you start to understand those customer persona basis data and start to take actions basis that? Okay, can you proactively start to take decisions like stopping them from leaving you and go? So a lot of these things, there are tons of things that you can do when it comes to understanding the customer itself, and that is where a lot of marketers want to start also. Okay, because it's all about the customers, right? The fourth thing is marketing ROI, which means every marketer has a budget. Every marketer is spending some money to generate sales. Okay, that's the return. Okay, so how do you consistently deliver more return? How do consistently, so you are spending money on, let's say, Facebook digital campaigns, you're spending money on advertisements, hoardings, radio, TV, right? You have so many channels for spending the money. How do you optimize that spend? How do you know whether should I go for advertisement or I should just give buy one get one? I will pass on the discount to the customer. Will that work? Or will hiring an actor and asking them to uh, you know uh, do become a brand ambassador and do an advertisement, that will help? So what will help? How should you spend your money wisely? Can I look at the past data? Can I build models? Can those models give me the suggestions? So that is marketing ROI. The fifth thing is marketing research. So you are constantly trying to understand customer needs, right? You want to launch a new product. You want to understand the customer needs. You're doing surveys. You're doing experiments. Okay, how to make more sense out of it? How to do it in a more structured way? Can you use artificial intelligence there? Of course. Okay, you can use it for sentiment analysis, A/B testing. A lot of these things can be. So today, using artificial intelligence, you can do thousands of tests on different type of people and see what is working, what is not working. On a website, on a web page, you can make thousand changes and see which one is working. And when I talk about Netflix, I'm going to talk about this, how Netflix is using it actually. Okay, uh, the next thing is media. So every uh, you know um, marketer buys media. Okay, there are different media aspects. So how to customize, how to personalize those media interactions with the customer? Can you provide relevant content to the reader? Okay, can I create a newsletter which has got different content for different customers depending on their needs? Okay, can I start to make more optimal decisions for this media buying? you know how do I buy the media? Can I look at the past data and can the data suggest me how much of media to be bought? Okay, what is the right price to buy it? The next thing is digital marketing. I already spoke about it. It's similar to getting the ROI. It's just that in digital marketing you're doing it for spends that you're doing in digital space, like Facebook marketing or Google AdWords, or let's say your inbound marketing, your Google Analytics, SEO. All of that comes under digital marketing. All of that is extremely data intensive. Everything is captured. All the data is available. Are you using it enough? Are you looking at the data enough to find the right decisions? The next is contextual marketing. Like I was talking about this, this is so important. Can you drive deeper engagements, really meaningful engagements with the customers? You are consistently interacting with them. Can you start to make sense out of all of that? You look at the relationship history, you look at history of different people, you look at how the behavior has been, you measure them, you track that behavior, you proactively upgrade the behavior, you proactively change the behavior which makes sense for our organization. And that is what happens when you start to do contextual marketing. Finally, one last need for marketer is also understanding and appreciating the ethics in AI. you know uh, will you because you have more power now, because you have data. Just imagine, with the data, the caste, the race, the gender of every individual. You can suddenly make take decisions, and you can suddenly roll them out, implement them at a customer level, which can be discriminatory also. You might choose that, okay, if for a certain caste or certain race, I will choose to ignore their needs, or I will choose to give different type of solutions. So you must realize that by the knowledge of this data, you should be able, even when you have this knowledge of this data, how you use it becomes extremely important. Before I move to the case study for Netflix, I want to stop here again. I want to just stop here and ask, is this clear to everyone? Are there any doubts at this point of time, guys? Would you want to ask me anything? Are you guys enjoying? Are you guys able to appreciate this? Can I get some response, guys? Are you guys with me? Okay. Can I get some more response? Are you guys with me? Are you guys enjoying this? Are you guys appreciating what I'm trying to say? Some more response on the chat window? Okay. Okay. Awesome. I love that energy, guys. That really keeps me going. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll move to the last section and we'll talk about Netflix. We'll see some of the examples just to give, just to inspire you, so that when you go back to your own work, you start to look out for opportunities where you can also start to implement AI. Okay. So what are those places? Okay. First of all, let's look at Netflix claim to fame, right? Today, Netflix has become the largest worldwide subscriber base for any business, paid subscriber base. And it's not only the largest, it is growing at a rapid pace. It's grown with 25% last year. And, it's the market capitalization is same as Disney, which is the most valued and such an old company. So today, Netflix is able to, stand neck to neck with Disney, which is such an old company, because of the way they have used data. Okay, so if we look at what are the things that Netflix is doing, okay, uh, first thing, of course, everybody knows, like personalization of movie recommendation. There was a very interesting case study on this. Netflix had announced a competition also. Netflix has invited a lot of machine learning enthusiasts to write machine learning algorithms which can give the best recommendations, movie recommendations. So that's something which is a no-brainer, which probably everybody knows. So every time you watch a movie, the next recommendation that comes is coming from an artificial intelligence algorithm. What's very interesting to know is you would not realize, but when you log into Netflix account, even the image of the movie that you see is actually personalized. And this is what I was talking about, some time back, that what they do, they pick up images from the movie. So from they pick up different snapshots from the movie, and then they look at people behavior to those thumbnails, to those images. Are people clicking because of that image? Who is clicking because of what image? And then basis that data, if you resemble a particular audience, or you resemble your taste resembles some particular audience, you will get the same image which that other person liked and used to click on that movie. So a lot of customization, even at a level of what image you see. How do you ensure that? Because a lot of times what happens is you look at the image and you decide whether you want to watch the movie or not. So what is the right image that I need to create? Okay. The next thing is location. So it's not about only finding out which is the best location to shoot. You are basically trying to optimize a lot of logistics along with it. Can you spend less? Okay, with the least money that you spend, you can get the same output. Okay. Then things like movie editing. Now, movie editing is a very time consuming, very involved process. It's a very time taking process. Now, can I build a model? Once the movie is done, the model will tell me, the artificial intelligence model will tell me that these are the places where the chances of making a mistake in editing is very high. Manual checks should be done in those points. So you have drastically reduced the effort. Rather than going through the entire movie, or going through maybe just 10 different places in the movie. That's about it. Streaming quality. Can you imagine that every time you are at different locations, every time you are using that Netflix account, it is trying to find out the best server for you to provide that content, to provide the streaming content to you. Okay. The most interesting one is the content creation. You cannot imagine that today Netflix is creating content, which means it is creating series, TV series, or it is creating movies by artificial intelligence. You know how they are doing it? They are looking at billions of hours, okay, of streamed content every month. For 6 years, they analyzed that and they drew conclusions. They looked at what type of content is generating what type of viewership. Okay, that insight was used to engineer and create new content. So who will cast what role, what type of scene should be given, everything, everything comes from models. And what is the result of that? The result of that is today 80% of Netflix shows are hit, a success, whereas in normal TV, TV shows, the success is only 30 to 40%. So it is double. And it is not based on gut feel or people, or somebody's understanding of the market, or that magic formula of what will make a movie successful or a TV series successful. It is based on real data, and it works. So that's all I wanted to present, guys, today. I hope